Okay, congrats to OKC. They, unlike Dallas, hit their free throws. They, unlike Dallas, did not make mistakes. The young team, the young OKC, did all the things right late in the game. Congrats to them. SGA is a remarkable player. But I was thinking about this. Is that at any one time, the NBA's got about a dozen what you would call stars. Like right now, they got about a dozen stars. Luka's a star, and Giannis, and Embiid, and you know the group. Ant is becoming a star. Tatum's a star. SGA is a star. At any one time, there's 10 to 12 stars. And usually, I'm all in on almost all of them. But there's always one, maybe two tops, that I'm a little reluctant to embrace. Blake Griffin was one I didn't embrace. I said, take away the dunks. What do I get? Can't shoot a jumper. Carmelo Anthony, I didn't embrace. Won't defend, low efficiency jump shooter. I'm not sure he's in great shape, not easy to play with. Derrick Rose, I wouldn't embrace. Hyper athletic, can't shoot, not sustainable if you have to score at the rim. Westbrook, same thing. Hyper athletic, not a great shooter, and when the ball's not in his hands, he's not very effective. By the way, those guys, no titles, I think one finals appearance. Blake Griffin, Melo, Rose, Westbrook, I just wasn't in for it. Luka is not quite there yet, but I'm getting really close to saying that about Luka. Yeah, I mean, I compared him to Melo when he came into the league. I think he's better than Melo, better three-point shooter, although he's having a terrible three-point shooting run. But watch Luka when he doesn't have the ball. Sometimes you can't find him on the TV screen. He disengages. He doesn't move like a Steph Curry. Whereas a Steph Curry and a Jokic, who have combined for 5 titles, 5 MVPs and counting, constantly create value when they don't have the ball. When Luka doesn't have it, whatever. You guys do your thing. That's the difference between Jokic and Curry and Luka. They add tremendous value to a team even when they don't have the ball. He just screams selfish to me. I want him to be part of the offense.
He reminds me of a bigger, stronger, new version of a James Harden, quite honestly. Always complaining, always crying. When he doesn't have the ball, not very engaged. I think that's really what he is.
He wants to be the offense. Almost like when you get that report card, at least I did when I was like 5th, 6th grade, doesn't play well with others. Mom saw it. I had to shape up. Like, what are you going to tell him? How are you going to teach him? I mean, again, since he was like 16 years old, he's the team. He's the offense. He's the scorer. He is almost indifferent to the team when he doesn't have the ball. He could go to the corner, the closest 3. Doesn't work for it. I think I saw this morning like 92 of 96 threes are non-corner threes. Why isn't he working to get those threes? Those are the easiest threes. Because when he doesn't have the ball, he doesn't play well with others. And that really defines, beyond their great talent, Curry and Jokic. Again, 5 titles, 5 MVPs. So I'm not saying stars can't have off nights. That happens all the time. Jokic didn't play well in the first couple games in Minnesota, got pushed around, rebounded. And I'm sure Luka will have great other games. But one of the reasons they're kind of in a tough spot in Dallas. So they don't want Luka to have the ball as much because they're like 9-0 when his usage rate is under 30%. But when he doesn't have the ball, he's a fairly useless player who doesn't play well with others.
Yeah. Okay. So, listen, I've said this a lot. I think Luka is an unbelievable player because he really is. But he is not a good leader. He is not a good personality on the floor. The Mavericks as a whole have poor leadership. If Kyrie Irving and Luka are the ones that are leading the way for your team, you are in bad shape, okay? I mean, like, literally they got in a fight with an OKC fan because the fan just, rolled the ball down the court. Like such like a little passive thing. Something that other players do to other players all the time. And it's not like he did. He just literally just like, just threw the ball away. It was like the guy got the ball, and now Luka started a whole thing about it, and then Kyrie came over, and it's like, you're in the middle of a playoff game. Roll your eyes, give him a look, and be like, all right, man, cool. And then go get the ball. Grow up. Be a man. Stop being a crybaby. I mean, like every commentator now at this point, and I think it was last night, for game 4, it was Grant Hill, if memory serves me correctly. He was like, Luka needs to stop complaining. He's looking for the call every single time. And it's obnoxious. It is obnoxious, and it will hold him back. It just will. It already is. And I've said this again and again and again because you see it every single game. I used to just say it happens at least once a game, but the truth is it happens maybe like 2, 3, 4, or 5 times. The other team, now specifically this OKC, directly scores a basket because Luka has his hands in the air looking at the ref and complaining while the play is continuing down the other end of the court. He does it like every other drive. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. And the thing that confuses me is that the Dallas fans seem to be okay with it. They defend it. They don't hold him accountable. And it's so bizarre to me because why would you not hold your star player accountable? Yes, he's a great player. Yes, he does a lot. Yes, he is why the Mavericks are even remotely successful or relevant. It doesn't mean that you can't hold him accountable or hold him to a higher standard. It just doesn't make sense. And to me, that's part of the problem with Kidd. I don't blame Kidd completely because I think Kidd is a good coach. But he's definitely, and I said this before, Luka needs an alpha. He needs a true alpha that says, shut up and listen. This is what we're doing. And the problem is you can see Luka dictates the culture of the Dallas Mavs. And it's a problematic culture. That whole team is whining and complaining to the refs every 5 seconds. You really don't see OKC ever complaining. A couple times they did, and there's times when I'm like, you need to complain more. You clearly got fouled. But they like don't do it enough. They just will look at the ref and then they like, run down to the play. And I'm like, no, you need to yell at the ref. Like, get a technical. That was an awful missed call. And it's like, OKC, and again, Dallas Mavericks very, very well may end up winning this series. But that doesn't mean what I'm saying or what Colin is saying is wrong. Because it directly holds back the Mavericks from reaching their actual legitimate potential. If the Dallas Mavericks end up winning, they have 0 chance against the Timberwolves and 0 chance against the Nuggets. There's just no way. 0 chance. Because those teams are cohesive, complete, mature, ready to go. You're able to a degree, take advantage of OKC's youth at times, but also OKC has just gone cold, and the Mavericks have just kind of gotten hot. But now when things kind of even out, you can see that this is the way the game kind of unfolds. But I just think, moving forward, I just don't know how you can feel good about Luka being the leader of your team. I really don't. Because of his attitude, because of his mentality, because of him taking off these plays every 5 seconds, being disengaged, complaining and crying every 5 seconds. It's exhausting to watch. It is. It really is. It's not fun to watch a player complain every 5 seconds and then even having the play-by-play kind of laugh about it. Well, there's Luka complaining. He'll always let the ref hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Like, this is where the NBA doesn't do a good enough job of saying, shut up. To all the players, for that matter. Stop complaining every 5 seconds. And the refs, the fact that they don't blow the whistle as loud as they can and say, enough. You complain one more time, you're getting a technical. Enough. No more. But they allow it. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. I really, really don't. It just, you put out a bad product. And again, if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, I'm sure you're like, you feel immune to it, and you probably agree with Luka. He is getting fouled. That's why he's complaining. But everyone else who's not is probably like, stop complaining, stop crying. And so just to me, it makes a bad product. It's not entertaining in that regard. And Luka himself, when he's actually playing basketball, is wildly entertaining. He's an unbelievable player. But I just don't think that from a long-term perspective, the Dallas Mavericks are a good enough team. Luka is clearly not a good enough leader. And Kyrie is definitely not a good enough leader either. I mean, the dude disappears for like entire halves. Okay, sure, he gets some assists. Congratulations. The Dallas Mavericks need points. You need Kyrie to put up points. You need him to be more aggressive. Okay, great. He had 5 assists. Okay. There's more to basketball than just assists. Okay? There's more to basketball. I understand. Kyrie can do a lot of magical stuff on the court. That's great. He can't just take one shot in an entire half. You can't have that. You can't. Clearly not. Clearly has not proven to be successful. So, yeah, I don't know. I've never been high on the Mavs, mainly for the reasons that I've now outlined a lot. But, and again, I'm not making this whole thing just on Luka scoring 18, because if next game I wouldn't be shocked if Luka puts up 40. Like I said, Luka is an unbelievable player. I'm thinking more on a long-term basis. I'm thinking about if I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan and I'm watching this series and I'm watching Luka over the years, and I think to myself, how do I feel about the present and how do I feel about the future? And the answer is, not that good. It's a similar feeling that I have when I watch Joel Embiid. Unbelievable player, absolute beast, can't stay healthy. What the heck do I do with that? I don't know. Because he's so good when he's healthy. When he's not, he's not. I don't know what to do with that. What do I do with that? It makes your situation very complicated. How do I build around that? What culture am I building here? Is it a positive culture? Doesn't seem like it. And so that's where Luka is with the Dallas Mavs. And then when you add now other culture suck players like a Kyrie, that's what you get. You get the Dallas Mavericks. And it's what the Sixers had a couple years ago when they went out and got James Harden. It was like you're getting 2 kind of bad leaders in Joel Embiid and James Harden, making them 1 and 2. That's a recipe for a disaster. And it was. You had before that an aloof Ben Simmons who just cared more about being a celebrity and going to the Met Gala and dating Kardashians or Jenners or whoever. That didn't work out. When you actually had a legitimate, hard-working, do the dirty work player, Jalen Brunson, you let him leave. Then you got the Kyrie Irving replacement, who's the opposite of the Jalen Brunson mentality. So I think the Dallas Mavericks in a long-term perspective are in a rough shape. But since they may reach the Western Conference Finals, people will think they're close. They got it. They're just a piece away. They're just this away. Oh, if only so-and-so had a little bit better shooting night, they could have won. No, they're just not good enough. Bad culture, bad leadership. That's the way it is. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys think about Luka from a cultural perspective? And do you agree with Colin that he screams selfish? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.